Good morning to you on Thursday. Hey, dealing with the New England states, so we're going to kind of take it state by state and give a couple highlights. I got some extra pictures for some states, but keep this in mind because part of your assignment today, yes, is to write the state and capital city in each state in preparation for tomorrow's test, but you also have to write down 3 things that you learned about the New England states. Again, 3 things that you learned. Don't just say they're states. You didn't learn that. You knew that. Don't say they have capital cities. You knew that. You got to actually write 3 things that you learned, and only 3 things. But let's talk about the states here first, huh? We got these states that we're talking about, New England states. Let's start with Maine. Now, Maine, they have the capital city of Augusta. What I kind of like about these is they have these broken up into counties. Now, we talked about, here's a capital city of Augusta, right? That's where the state capital is. In fact, this is a picture of the state capital building in Augusta where the state laws happen. Well, a lot of states are big. Even though these are smaller states, it's still a big area. So they also divide it up into counties. We have Gila County, and if you go through Globe, we have the Gila County Courthouse, right? Certain things so that not everybody, even from way up here, has to travel to the state. You can travel just in your county for the county courthouses to see those judges and things like that too. Generally, not always, but generally, when they have smaller counties, that means there's a lot more people there, right? And the bigger counties mean not as many people. That's what we call rural, right? Remember when I said if you cut Maine about in half? There's not a whole lot of even power lines up here. So literally, if you want to catch the Cardinals game way up here, you might not be able to because there might not be any power up there. That's how rural northern Maine is. Not a lot of people and not a lot of big cities up there. The nickname is the Pine Tree State. Remember when I talked about they have mountains called the Appalachian Mountains, not like ours with big peaks, right? They have kind of more of the rolling hill mountains. Lots of pine trees there, and that's why they're called the Pine Tree State. Here's New Hampshire. Here's the state capital building of New Hampshire. There's the capital city of Concord. Manchester's kind of a bigger city, but again, really a small state. Not a lot of people, and this is called the Granite State, is their nickname. This is a picture of the state quarter. You ever get a quarter on the back and has a state and kind of shows something that state is famous for? Well, this is called the Old Man on the Rock, as you can see here. And it kind of, if you use your imagination, here's the forehead, the nose, the mouth, the chin, the eye. It actually looks like an old man looking at the rock, right? But this is what they have a lot of, are these different rock formations that's called granite. I talked a lot about they have these Appalachian Mountains. Well, just so happens in New Hampshire, they have a lot of these cliffs and these granite parts on the side of the mountains that just happen to be all over New Hampshire. That's why it's called the Granite State. Here's a pretty picture of the rolling mountains in the back. This is New Hampshire, a lot of trees and a lot of rural areas. I do not know what this building is, but man, it looks like a beautiful, large, massive building, huh? But at any rate, a neat picture of New Hampshire, in my opinion. Here's Vermont. Sorry for the blurry picture, but there's Vermont. The way it helps me, yes, you do got to use your imagination, but Vermont kind of looks like a V, doesn't it? Kind of. A little bit. That helped me always remember which one is Vermont. But Vermont is called the Green Mountain State. And here's a good picture of those rolling mountains. We have more rocky mountains. But these have mountains full of pine trees. You can just see how they're green. And they're mountains. And so they're called the Green Mountain State. Not a lot of people live in Vermont. But Montpelier, by the way, is the capital city. Hard to spell, but that is the capital city. Let's go to Massachusetts. Now, Massachusetts is mostly popular for a couple things. Number one, Boston. So Boston is one of the things they're most famous for, right on the ocean here. But also this this hook thing, you might be able to see it better on the corner. This hook thing, uh, it's called Cape Cod. It's basically a bay, and you can imagine how this little hook here breaks a lot of the ocean's waves. So it's nice, calm water in here, which is really good for shipping and fishing and things like that. So there's a lot of cities right in here, right in the calm ocean part here. So that's why it's called the Bay State. That's a bay there. That's Massachusetts there for you. Connecticut. Connecticut is one of those that's really famous for one of those like Vermont and New Hampshire, famous for syrup and big trees. That's why I have an oak tree here. But Hartford is the capital city of Connecticut. I'll be honest, there's just not a whole lot to talk about Connecticut. Go visit it there if you want, right on the ocean. But Connecticut, we'll kind of say hi and bye to them. Here's a nice picture of Connecticut, all the shipping that they have there, the fishing and crabbing and things like that. Rhode Island. Take a look at here. Here's Providence, Rhode Island. It's called the Ocean State. Look at this. Rhode Island is the smallest state in our country. Does not have the least amount of people, by the way. But look at this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counties in Rhode Island. It's that small. 5 counties in Rhode Island. That's it. And take a look at this. This is also kind of like we talked about in Massachusetts, this nice area here. All these bays where this right here kind of stops the big giant ocean waves, and it's nice calmer water in here because the land breaks it off a lot there. So really good for shipping there. Here's your assignment. Do 2 things. I should say more than 2 things. It says write the name of each state in a line. So see this line that points here? That's New Hampshire. Spell it correctly there, please, using the book. Then draw a star in the state for each state's capital city and write the name next to the star. So please make sure you do that. I know some of these states are small. If you want to draw in the state capital for Providence and then put another line here, spell it right, you can do that. And then list 3 interesting facts you learned about the Northeast states. So 3 things. Number 1, write the state name. Number 2, draw a star and write the capital city name. Number 3, give me 3 interesting facts that you learned about these states. Hey guys, Lord's blessings to you as you praise your Savior today.